Nityananda Prabja Karunarena Bhushito Yakta Chano Burachincho Vavande Vyasadupino Shri Guru Gaur Gandharva Govindascha Ganaisaha Jayanti Patakas Ch.Ch. Sarvesham Gurunartino. So we are continuing this morning with our hearing of Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita. And yesterday we heard of how Kaliya Krishnadas was mercifully engaged by Nityananda Prabhu and the other devotees, although Mahaprabhu had rejected him. And they gave him the service of going to Puri to give the news to the service of going to Navadvip to give the news to the devotees that Mahaprabhu had returned from South India. Would you mind to close that door? Thank you. So the devotees in Navadvip received this news that Mahaprabhu has returned to Puri from South India. They hold a 3-day festival at the home of Advaita Acharya. And then they resolve to go to Puri to meet with Mahaprabhu. Thank you, Devi. Okay, so we'll pick up from there. Ch.Ch, Didi, can you keep that door? Okay. Sobe meli Navadvipe ekatra hoya Niladri chalila Ch.Ch matara gyaloya. Just because we're getting baby noises.
Yeah. Sorry.
All the devotees, we love having Balaram around, but he does have a different schedule.
No.
All the devotees met together at Navadvip and, with Mother Ch.Ch's permission, departed for Niladri, Jagannath Puri. Prabhur samachar shuni kulingrama vasi Satyaraja Ramananda milila so beasi. The inhabitants of Kulinagram, Satyaraj, Ramananda, and all the other devotees there came and joined Advaita Acharya. So, not only from Navadvip, but from surrounding villages and towns, devotees are. Navadvip is their meeting place, but from many surrounding areas, but the devotees are gathering. So from Kulinagram, the village of Kulina, Satyaraj, Ramananda, and all the other devotees there came and joined Advaita Acharya. Mukunda Narahari Raghunandan Kanda Hoite Acharya Tayaila Nilacho Jaite. Mukunda, Narahari, Raghunandan, and all the others came from Kanda to Advaita Acharya. So this is another village, Kanda, to Advaita Acharya's home to accompany him to Jagannath Puri. Sekale dakin hoite Paramananda Puri Ganga tire aila Nadia Nagadi. At that time, Paramananda Puri came from South India. Traveling along the banks of the Ganges, he ultimately reached the town of Nadia. Aira manjire suke korila vishram, aitade bhikshadila koria saman. At Navadvip, Paramananda Puri took his board and lodging at the house of Ch.Ch. Mata. She provided him with everything very respectfully. Prabhuragamante ho tahaisho nilo, shigra nila chaljaite tahicha hoilo. While residing at the house of Ch.Ch. Mata, Paramananda Puri heard the news of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's return to Jagannath Puri. He therefore decided to go there as soon as possible. Prabhu Eka Bhakta Dvija Kamala Kantanam Tadeloya Nilachole Kodila Prayam. There was a devotee of Mahaprabhu's named Dvija Kamala Kanta, whom Paramananda Puri took with him to Jagannath Puri. Satvade asiyate ho milila prabhude, Prabhurananda hoilo payatahade. Paramananda Puri very soon arrived at Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's place. The Lord was very happy to see him. Prema veshe koilotar charana vandan, Teho prema veshe koilo prabode alingan. In the great ecstasy of love, the Lord worshipped the lotus feet of Paramananda Puri, and in turn, Paramananda Puri embraced the Lord in great ecstasy. So Paramananda Puri, he is a godbrother of Mahaprabhu's guru, Ishwar Puri. So Mahaprabhu, he always gives him this respect. And also he's a sannyasi. So there's a few, Brahmananda Bharati, Paramananda Puri, maybe one or two others, who were sannyasis, and they would, they were like Mahaprabhu's associates, And when he was in Puri, if he would go to take lunch at someone's house, then generally they would come with him and take with him. So Mahaprabhu, he's always, very humbly showing the proper etiquette and treating the godbrothers of his guru like his guru. So Paramananda Puri is actually considering himself a servant of Mahaprabhu, but Mahaprabhu likes to give him this honor because of his position as, his uncle guru. Prabhu kohe toma sange rohite vansha hoye, ore kripa kori koro niladri ashai. Mahaprabhu said, "Please stay with me and thus show me favor, accepting the shelter of Jagannath Puri." Puri kohe toma sange rohite vancha kori, Goda hoite choli aila nilachala puri. Paramananda Puri replied, "I also wish to stay with you. Therefore I have come from Bengal, Goda, to Jagannath Puri." Dakin hoit, so that was why I went to Bengal to see you, and then from Bengal, when I heard you were here, I came here. Dakin hoite shuni tomaragaman, Ch.Ch. Anandita Jata Bhaktagam. At Navadvip, Mother Ch.Ch. and all the other devotees were very glad to hear about your return from South India. Sobe asite chen tomade dekite. Tasaba vilamba deki aila twadite. They are all coming here to see you, but seeing that they were delayed, I came alone very quickly. Because when you're traveling in a group, we all know what that's like. Things get slowed down. So there's a few hundred, Bengali Vaishnavas who are gathering in Navadvip to travel together to see Mahaprabhu. But Paramananda is thinking, I'm going to go alone. We get there more quickly. Kashimishdaravase nibrite kagur, prabhutade diloar sevar kinkar. There was a solitary room at Kashi Mishra's house, and Mahaprabhu gave it to Paramananda Puri. He also gave him a servant. Arodine aila sarup damodar, prabharatyanta marmi raser sagar. Swarup Damodar also arrived the next day. He was a very intimate friend of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's, and he was an ocean of transcendental mellows. Purport. Swarup is one of the names of a brahmachari in Shankaracharya's disciplic succession. In the Vedic discipline, there are 10 names for sannyasis. Jai Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. In the Vedic discipline, there are 10 names for sannyasis, and it is customary for a brahmachari assisting a sannyasi of the designation tirtha or ashram to receive the title Sarup. Damodar Sarup was formerly a resident of Navadvip, and his name was Purushottam Acharya. When he went to Varanasi, he took sannyas from a sannyasi designated tirtha. Although he received the title Sarup in his brahmachari stage, he did not change his name when he took sannyas. Actually, as a sannyasi, he should have been called tirtha, but he chose to retain his original brahmachari title of Sarup. And Srila Sridhar Maharaj, he explains that actually what happened is that because he was in so much ecstasy when he went to take sannyas, when Mahaprabhu took sannyas, then Gurudev, sorry, I keep backtracking a bit more, so I'm just speaking in half sentences. But Srila Guru, I'll start from here. Srila Gurudev, he pointed out that when Mahaprabhu took sannyas, that all of his associates took sannyas. Whether like formerly taking the sannyas cloth or not, but they lived the lifestyle, they gave up everything else. And so Rup and Sanatam, they left everything and lived their life of simplicity in Vrindavan. Then also Srup Damodar, he actually went to take sannyas. When Mahaprabhu took sannyas, then Srup Damodar, as we're going to hear, he went to Varanasi to take sannyas there. But he was in so much ecstasy and he was so impatient to get to Puri with Mahaprabhu that he wasn't able to go through the whole ceremony. And so for that reason, he retained his brahmachari name.
There's some very beautiful verse about...
Yeah, it's coming up when they first meet in Puri. Yeah, very beautiful. Okay. Purushottamacharya Tarnam Purvashame Navadvipe Chilateho Prabhur Chadane. When Srup Damodar was residing at Navadvip under the shelter of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, his name was Purushottam Acharya. Prabhur Sanyas Teki Unmata Hoya Sanyas Grahan Koilo Varanasi Giya. After seeing that Mahaprabhu accepted the renounced order, Purushottam Acharya became like a madman and immediately went to Varanasi to take sannyas. Chaitanyananda Gurutar Agya Dilentade Vedanta Podiya Padao Samasta Lokede. At the conclusion of his sannyas, his spiritual master, Chaitanyananda Bharati, ordered him, read the Vedanta Sutra and teach it to all others. Param Virakta Deho Param Pandit Kaimone Ashiyache Shri Krishna Charit. Srup Damodar was a great renunciant as well as a great learned scholar. With heart and soul, he took shelter of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Shri Krishna. Nishchinte Krishna Bhaji Boeto Kadane Unmade Kodilo Teho Sanyas Grahane. He was very enthusiastic to worship Shri Krishna without disturbance. And therefore, almost in madness, he accepted the sannyas order. Sanyas Kodila Shika Ch.Ch Garupa Yogapata Nanilo Nam Hoilo Swarupa. Upon accepting sannyas, Purushottamacharya followed the regulative principles by giving up his tuft of hair and sacred thread. And this of course, is he took a Mayavadi sannyas like Mahaprabhu did. So He gave up his shika and sacred thread, but did not accept the saffron-colored dress, so he did like half of it. Also, he did not accept a sannyasi title, but remained as a Naishtika brahmachari. Gurutai Agyamagi Aila Nila Chole Rachi Dine Krishna Prema Ananda Vivale. After taking permission from his sannyas guru, Srup Damodar went to Nilachal and accepted the shelter of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Then all day and night in ecstatic love of Krishna, he enjoyed transcendental mellows and the loving service of the Lord. Pandit Yerhavadi Vakyanahi Kado Sane Nirjane Rohoye Log Sabnahi Jane. Srup Damodar was the limit of all learned scholarship, but he did not exchange words with anyone. He simply remained in a solitary place, and no one could understand where he was. Krishna Rasa Tattvaveta Deho Prema Rup Sakshad Mahaprabhur Dvitiya Swarup. Sri Srup Damodar was the personification of ecstatic love, fully cognizant of the transcendental mellows in relationship with Krishna. He directly represented Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu as his second expansion. So Srup Damodar is sometimes described in this way, as being the second form of Mahaprabhu. They are so closely tied. And Srup Damodar, he knows so closely the heart of Mahaprabhu. Granta shloka gita keho prabhu pashe hane swarupa riksha koile pache prabhu shune. If someone wrote a book or composed verses and songs and wanted to recite them before Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Srup Damodar would first examine them and then correctly present them. Only then would Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu agree to listen. Bhakti Siddhanta Viruddha Adora Sabhas Shunite Nohoy Prabhur Chitte Rulas. Mahaprabhu was never pleased to hear books or verses opposed to the conclusive statements of devotional service. So Siddhanta Viruddha, opposing something that is opposing the Siddhanta. Bhakti Siddhanta Viruddha, that which is opposing the conclusions of devotion. And Rasabhas, so these 2 points are made here. Anything that is contrary to the Siddhanta, and anything which is, rasabhas, is mixing the rasas in a distasteful way. There's a particular, there's a science of rasa, and you cannot jumble it all up, according to your whim or mental imposition. So there has to be a great deal of sensitivity in if one is going to explain or present the conception in some way. One must be careful to avoid these two things. So, just as some examples, Siddhanta, here it's Viruddha, we've also heard it Virod, Siddhanta Virod. So, for example, famous example, Srila Sridhar Maharaj explains that you cannot do Ratha-yacha in Navadvip or Vrindavan. This is a point of Siddhanta, because Ratha-yacha signifies Krishna being taken to Vrindavan, which is non-different from Navadvip. So if you do Ratha-yacha in Vrindavan, it will disturb the Brajavasis, because where are you taking them? From Vrindavan, you can only take them out of Vrindavan. So this is a point of Siddhanta. another, of course, there's so many things, but one point that Gurudev, when he specifically used this phrase, was in regards to persons holding a program at the Samadhi of Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur on his appearance day. Gurudev said that was Siddhanta Virod.
They hold what on his appearance?
There was some group that they were planning to hold a festival, some type of program at the Samadhi of Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, but on his appearance day. So the Samadhi, is in the mood of separation. So, like we saw in Navadvip, Gurudev would hold the Disappearance Day festival for Srila Sridhar Maharaj at his Samadhi, but not on his appearance day, because there's a particular mood there. And rasa.
So, for example, on Guru Maharaj's appearance day, what would they not do at the Samadhi, and what would they do at the Samadhi on his disappearance?
Well, as I've seen from old photographs, and on that day, Gurudev would sit at the Samadhi. As we used to have our morning class there, the 9 o'clock Western class. So for Srila Sridhar Maharaj's disappearance day, they would hold a program there. And everyone would fan out around the sides.
On his disappearance?
Yeah.
And on his appearance day then?
Well, the program would be held in the Nat Mandir.
Sure.
But of course, all the other service at the Samadhi would continue as usual. But to hold a focused program there would be inappropriate.
Yeah.
Because these moods, particular moods are there. And then for Rasa Bas, what comes to mind is how we are worshipping our deities. That on our altar we're worshipping Mahaprabhu, Radha, Krishna, and that is all in the mood of Madhura Ras. But, you would not put Nityananda Prabhu there also, because Nityananda Prabhu is in the mood of Vatsalya stroke Sakya Ras. So that would be some incompatibility in rasa. We would worship Nityananda Prabhu and Mahaprabhu together, but if Radharani is there, then that is a different mood. So it is a separate worship. So, all of these things are, we cannot, go running like a bull into a tea shop.
We cannot what?
We cannot go charging like a bull in a tea shop. No. Oh, when I say tea shop, I mean the original expression is a china shop, right?
Yeah.
All this fine, delicate, pottery, and we're charging in this very awkward way, But so many fine points of sentiment are there, which won't mean much to us, but they will disturb the higher devotees, those whose sensibilities are awakened and attuned to such things. We will disturb them. So in consideration of that, then Mahaprabhu would only listen to something if Mahaprabhu, or read something, if Sri Damodar looked at it first. Because it would be it's not just like saying, oh, this is wrong, this is right. It would be painful to his heart, to see something, not aligned with the proper understanding. It would be painful to him. And so therefore he doesn't want to see it, doesn't want to hear it. So therefore he has Srup Damodar check everything, before it goes to him. Ateva Swadupage Kore Parikan Shuddha Hoy Jadi Prabode Korano Shavan. It was the practice of Srup Damodar Goswami to examine all literatures to find out whether their conclusions were correct. Only then would he allow them to be heard by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Vidyapati Chandidas Sri Gita Govinda 18 Gite Korano Prabhu Ananda. Sri Srup Damodar used to read the poems of Vidyapati and Chandidas and Jayadev Goswami's Sri Gita Govinda. He used to make Mahaprabhu very happy by singing these songs. Sangite Gandharvasam Shastre Brihaspati Damodar Sama Nahi Mahamati. Srup Damodar was as expert a musician as the Gandharvas, and in scriptural discussion he was just like Brihaspati, the priest of the heavenly gods. Therefore it is to be concluded that there was no great personality quite like Srup Damodar. No, he was, because normally we won't expect these things to go together. Sweetness, beauty, and then also scholarship. So he was a wonderful singer and musician, and he was an incredible scholar as well. Advaita Nityananda Param Priyatam Shiva Sadi Bhakta Ganer Hoy Pranasam. Sri Srup Damodar was very dear to Advaita Acharya and Nityananda Prabhu, and he was the life and soul of all the devotees, headed by Srivas Thakur. Se Damodarasi Dandavata Hoilo Chadane Podiya Shlok Podite Lagila. When Srup Damodar came to Jagannath Puri, he fell flat before the lotus feet of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, offering him obeisances and reciting a verse. Now this is the verse. Very beautiful verse. Helo dunita kedaya vishadaya pranmilada modaya Shamyak Shastra Vivadaya Rasadaya Chitar Pitan Madaya Shashwad Bhakti Vinodaya Samadaya Madhurya Maryadaya Sri Chaitanya Dayani De Tavadoya Bhuya Damandodoya. So there's this, what do you call this in poetry? But there's this, play on the sound here, this doya. It's, there's doya, which means mercy, and it's used like that, and then it's also a particular grammatical structure of a word. So it's a very cleverly composed verse. So this sound of doya, which has this double meaning.
Mercy and?
I can't remember. It's a particular grammatical construction. I can't remember what it is.
And that doya is mentioned 13 times or something?
Yes, yeah, but I'm saying that the sound doya is there, but it doesn't always. But it's when you hear doya, you think mercy because it means mercy. But there's also it's also what do you call it? I don't know. I can't remember all these things, but there's a play on the sounds, because it doesn't literally mean doya, except in the last line, Krishna Mahaprabhu is described as doya nide, as like the reservoir of all doya. Oh no, 3 times. No. Yeah, actually, there's 3 different meanings of doya here. But the point is that this play is there on the sounds, doya.
What are the 3 different meanings?
Well, most of the time it's, as I said, it's maybe it's explained in. I remember Chagi Maharaj explained it once. I can't remember, but it's just it's an ending of the word. So kedoya is referring to lamentation. Vishadaya is referring to purification. Amodaya is referring to transcendental bliss. But it's a particular ending of a word. It's a particular grammatical construction to make it end with doya. It's not very important.
And doya moi?
The word, it's just like in English, you have words that have 2 different meanings, right? The same sound, same spelling. So, doya moi means full of mercy. Yeah. But this other doya sound, it's not actually a word. It's just a particular, like, grammatical. What's the opposite of a prefix? A suffix. It's like a suffix, something like that. We can ask Lalita Madhava. Anyway, it's just not very important. And then also the very last word, amando doya. It's udoy. Amando means like non-badness.
Good.
Yeah, good. and then udoy means like arising. Like udi lo aduna, like the same word, the rising sun. So then there's also there that amando doya, like that there be an arising, awakening, as it is here, of goodness or non-badness. This is Sri Chaitanya doya nide tava doya bhuyad amando doya. Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, he gave maybe tomorrow we can read it. There was, I only know of this one article where he discusses it a little bit, but as I understand, it was a phrase that on many occasions he used, non-evil producing mercy, because that's what it's saying. Swarup Damodar is praying to Mahaprabhu, like, let there be an awakening of your non-evil producing mercy, so it's making very particular points that there are different types of mercy.
Yeah,
like money, let's say, or name and fame, or having a good job. The point is that these are things that people may aspire for in this world as, thinking that they're good. Of course, if you're using them for service, it's a different thing. But the point is that people, they aspire for these things, and if somebody gives them those things, if somebody gives them, the job, a particular job, or salary, or whatever it may be, or a particular car, then they feel to be the recipient of mercy. But there are so many negative reactions that are connected with that. You're getting something good in your hand, but it's reactionary. So you're receiving a kind of mercy, but there's a negative consequence to that.
I thought that was more punya.
Well, it's a type of mercy.
Yeah.
Actually, the word punya can be used in a transcendental sense.
Also, really.
And Sukriti can also be used in a worldly sense. That's why sometimes Gurudev will specify, or Srila Sridhar Maharaj, Nitya Sukriti, eternal Sukriti. In our usage, that's how we use it. But strictly speaking, it can be used in either way. This is a particular point that Saraswati Thakur is making in his explanation. We can read it tomorrow, it's a very nice article, where he's saying that we are all beggars of mercy. Like by nature, we are beggars of mercy. But the question is, what kind of mercy, are we looking for? Like that. We can read that tomorrow. It was from a talk of Srila Saraswati Thakur. But the mercy that Mahaprabhu has to give, it has no side effect. There's no side effects. There's no evil consequence. So non-evil producing mercy, or like Srila Sridhar Maharaj gives the example, a doctor may use medicine to cure a patient, right? But how was that medicine produced? It's a good act, but there's so much exploitation behind that. So there's karmic reactions connected with that. Or you may go to feed the poor, but again, there's so much karmic reaction connected. So you're apparently doing something good, you're helping, and in the general sense you are, but there's also negative reactions there because we're in the world of exploitation. That is why everything has to be connected with the Lord.
With almost everything we do, right?
Everything we do, yeah. So he's glorifying Mahaprabhu, or praying to him in this way. Like let your non-evil producing mercy, let it be victorious, like that. Let there be an awakening of your non-evil producing mercy. Helo dunita kedaya vishadaya pranmilada modaya shamyak shastra vivadaya rasadaya Chitarpitanma. Oh, and then there's also doya in the sense of giving. Chitarpitanmadaya, Shashwad Bhakti Vinodaya, Samadaya, Madhurya Maryadaya, Shri Chaitanya Dayani De Tavadoya, Bhuyada Mandodoya. O ocean of mercy, Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, let there be an awakening of your auspicious mercy, which easily drives away all kinds of material lamentation by making everything pure and blissful. Indeed, your mercy awakens transcendental bliss and covers all material pleasures. By your auspicious mercy, quarrels and disagreements arising from different scriptures are vanquished. Your auspicious mercy pours forth transcendental mellows and thus causes the heart to jubilate. Your mercy, which is full of joy, always stimulates devotional service and glorifies conjugal love of God. May transcendental bliss be awakened within my heart by your causeless mercy. I'll read this purport. This important verse, which is from the Chaitanya Chandrodaya Natak, Chaitanya Chandrodaya Natak, I think it's by Kavi Karnapur, I think so. This important verse, Sri Chaitanya Chandrodaya Natak 8.10, specifically describes the Lord's causeless mercy. Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur explains that Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who is the most magnanimous personality of Godhead, distributes his causeless mercy in 3 ways to the conditioned soul. Every living entity is morose in the material world because he is always in want. He undergoes a great struggle for existence and tries to minimize his miserable condition by squeezing the utmost pleasure out of this world. But the living entity is never successful in this endeavor. While in a miserable condition, a person sometimes seeks the favor of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, but this is very difficult for materialistic people to obtain. However, when one becomes Krishna conscious by the grace of the Lord, the fragrance of the lotus feet of the Lord expands. When one becomes Krishna conscious by the grace of the Lord, the fragrance of the lotus feet of the Lord expands. And in this way, materialist may gain freedom from his miseries. Actually, his mind is cleansed by his transcendental connection with the lotus feet of the Lord. At such a time, one is enlightened by the loving service of the Lord. There are many different kinds of scriptures, and by reading them, one often becomes puzzled. But when one receives the mercy of the Lord, his confusion is mitigated. Not only are scriptural disparities resolved, but a kind of transcendental bliss is awakened. And in this way, one is fully satisfied. The transcendental loving service of the Lord constantly engages the conditioned soul in serving the Lord's lotus feet. Through such fortunate engagement, one's transcendental love for Krishna is increased. One's position is thus completely purified, and one is filled with transcendental bliss, accompanied by the spirit soul's jubilation. Thus the transcendental causeless mercy of Lord Krishna is manifested in the heart of the devotee. At such a time, material needs no longer exist. The lamentation that invariably accompanies material desire also vanishes. By the grace of the Lord, one is elevated to the transcendental position, and then the transcendental mellows of the spiritual world are manifested in him. One's devotional service then becomes firm, and one engages in the Lord's transcendental loving service with great determination. All these combine to fully awaken the devotee's heart with love of Krishna. In the beginning, a conditioned soul is bereft of Krishna consciousness and is always morose in his material activities. Later, by associating with the pure devotee, one becomes inquisitive to know the absolute truth. In this way, one begins to engage in the transcendental service of the Lord. Next, by the Lord's grace, all misconceptions are vanquished and the heart is cleansed of all material dirt. It is only then that the pleasure of transcendental bliss is awakened. Okay, so there's this is very nice. There's some order here. First there's description of how this whole verse, it's glorification of Mahaprabhu's mercy. So it's something like your mercy, which does this and this and this and this and this and this and this. Let there be an awakening of your mercy in my heart, which does all these things. So it's Gurudev. I heard Gurudev compare this verse to Ch.Ch. Darpana Marjanam, and now I'm seeing the parallel here. The Ch.Ch. Darpana Marjanam is describing the effects of, and it's the same construction as well. It's describing the effects of Harinam, right? Which Ch.Ch. Darpana Marjanam, which cleanses the consciousness. Vavamaha Devagni Nirvapana, which extinguishes the fire of misery in this material world, and so on and so forth. There's these different, there's 7 steps. So here, there's however so many effects that are described, and also similar to Ch.Ch. Darpana Marjanam. There's an order here, and so first it is describing the removal one's, material entanglements, material lamentation. And then the removal of all, mental doubts that one may have. And then the awakening, once that purification and cleansing has taken place, then the awakening of divine love, divine experience. First there has to be the cleaning. First the ground has to be prepared, and then that seed that sprouts can blossom.
Would you please read the verse again?
Okay, the thing is, this translation is not very clear, but I have this other translation. Maybe tomorrow we can, because this is just a little confusing. But tomorrow we can read this other translation, also that article of Srila Saraswati Thakur. So I didn't finish the purport, I'll just finish. By the Lord's mercy, one is completely convinced of the value of devotional service. When one can see the pastimes of the Lord everywhere, he is firmly situated in transcendental bliss. Such a devotee is relieved of all kinds of material desires. That sounds very nice. And he preaches the glories of the Lord all over the world. These Krishna-conscious activities separate him from material activities and the desire for liberation, because at every step the devotee feels himself connected with the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Although such a devotee may sometimes be involved in household life, he is untouched by material existence due to his constant engagement in devotional service. Thus, everyone is advised to take shelter of devotional service and to become happy and liberated. This is like classic. Therefore, thus everyone is advised to take shelter of devotional service to become happy and liberated. Huh? Yeah. What else do we need to know?
Let's do it.
Let us take this good advice.
Let's beg for that mercy.
Okay, well, we can stop there for today, and we can continue our discussion of this verse tomorrow and hearing more of this wonderful meeting between Mahaprabhu and Sriyukta Damodar. Jai Shri Chaitanya Charitamrita ki Jai, Srila Krishna Das Kaviraj Goswami ki Jai, Srila Gurudev Jai. Hari Hadaye Nama Krishna Jadavaya Namaha. Jadavaya Madhavaya Keshavaya Namaha. Gopal Govinda Ram Shri Madhusudana. Giridhari Gopinata Madana Mohana. Shri Chaitanya Nityananda Shri Advaita Chandra. Sadadhara Shivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda. Jaya Rupa Sanatana Bhatta Raghunatha. Shri Jiva Gopala Bhatta Dasa Raghunatha. Ch.Ch. Gosai Kori Charana Vandana. Jaha hoite Vignana Shambhisha Purana. Ch.Ch. Gosai Jar Muita Dadasa. Sansabhada Padadino Mura Panchagrasa Tajara Charana Sebi Bhakta Sanebasa Janame Moya Vilasha Ch.Ch Gosai Jabe Braje Koilo Basa Radha Krishna Nitya Lila Kodila Prakasha Anande Bolo Hari Bhaja Vrindavana Shri Guru Vaishnava Pade Bhajaya Mana Shri Guru Vaishnava Pad Padma Kodiyasha Hari Nam Sankirtan Kohe Narottama Dasa Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Nitai Gaura Hari Bol Hari Bol Hari Bol Gaura Hari Bol Nitai Gaura Hari Bol Hari Bol Hari Bol Gaura Hari Bol Jai Shri Bhakti Sundar Govinda Dev Goswami Maharaj Ki Jai Shri Bhakti Rakshak Sridhar Dev Goswami Maharaj Ki Jai Shri Bhakti Nirmala Charge Maharaj Ki Jai Shri Shri Guru Gauranga Radha Giridhari Ju Ki Jai all the assembled devotees Ki Jai all the world devotees Ki Jai Shri Hari Nam Sankirtan Ki Jai Jai Gaur Premanande
Vishakha Devidasi.
Cat, you can just turn it off. Oh, do you know how to do it? Oh. I'll do it.
Press the top.